Hello everyone. Nice to have you on this amazing learning platform. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm very sure you are ready for me this morning. Today we have English grammar. I am Mrs. Olayinka, and in English grammar class this morning, we'll be talking about the simple present tense. We're going to be talking about the simple present tense, the meaning and the use of the simple present tense. So I want you to settle down this morning, get all the information and materials you actually want for this class, and keep calm as you're about to learn something very interesting this morning. At the end of this class, you should be able to define the simple present tense. You should be able to explain how it can be used. You should be able to explain it to me, and then you should be able to identify them in sentences. You should be able to explain them and identify them in sentences. So please settle down and let's go. What is the simple present tense? You can see the question I just asked you now. What is the simple present tense? The simple present tense is used to show when an action takes place. It can be used in various ways. Some of them have been listed and will be explained. The simple present tense shows when an action takes place. It can be used in various ways. Please, I want you to note this. Various ways you can use them. I've listed some of those ways, and then I will explain them. So please, let's go along with me. The simple present tense, you can see from this chart I have here, can be used for instantaneous situations. Can you say it after me? For instantaneous situations. Good. For example, in sports, I'm very sure that you know Ronaldo very well. Ronaldo passes the ball to Benzema. Look at the word passes here. Ronaldo passes the ball to Benzema. That is instantaneous situation. When you are in instantaneous situations, you use the simple present tense. Now, for newspaper headlines, you use the simple present tense. This is an example here. The man enters space. Enters. The man enters space. Now, that enters there is a simple present tense. We can also use it with non-progressive situations. I believe that you're innocent. You can see. That's the word ha. Non-progressive. Now, we can use it when telling stories. Suddenly, the window opens and a masked man enters. We have opens and we have enters. The two words there shows that the story is being told in the simple present form. Now we can use the simple present tense in ceremonial or formal conversations. In ceremonial or formal conversation. For example, I pronounce you man and wife. That's an example there. In formal conversation, I pronounce you husband and wife. Man and wife. Now, we can also use it for habits and repeated regular actions. What you do regularly. It has become your habit and it's being repeated often. We have an example here. The child drinks milk every day. The child drinks milk every day. It has become the habit of the child to drink milk every day. So we use the simple present tense to show that the action is in the simple present tense. Drinks. We use it with future constructions. Future constructions. I will call you before I leave. I will call you before I leave in future constructions. Then for general truth or scientific facts. General truth. Something that has been approved and believed by everyone that is the truth. Water, example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, we all know that water boils at this degree. So, it's a general truth. We have other general truths that everybody knows that's what is obtainable. Like, the earth is spherical. It's a general truth. Then, for giving direction and instruction, we use the simple present tense. For example, first of all, break the eggs and whisk with sugar. Break the egg and whisk with sugar. He's trying to explain the process to someone. So you use, first of all, break the eggs and whisk with sugar. Then for schedule programs or arranged future, something that you have arranged, something that has been scheduled. Now we have an example here. The examination starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow. The examination starts 9 o'clock tomorrow. Starts here tells us that the information has been given in the simple present tense. The simple present tense. Now, from the chart you have just seen, I have other examples so that you have more understanding of what I've just explained. You can see for habitual action, we have example. She wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning. I hope you can remember what I said to you about habitual actions. Something you do regularly and that has become part of you. She wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning. That's wakes. Wakes here tells us that it's a simple present tense. Number 2 sentence says the baby drinks milk every day. Drinks. That's what the child does every day. Then Wale scrubs the floor on Saturday. Wale scrubs the floor on Saturday. Now we have scrubs as a simple present tense there. Then we go to church every Sunday. We go to church every Sunday. Go. We use this for general truth as well. Don't forget I told you in the chat that general truth is what is obtainable, that everyone has agreed and come to accept as being the truth. Example, the earth is spherical, is the general truth. We have the is telling us about the simple present tense there. All snakes are reptiles. We all know that all snakes are reptiles. That we have are telling us that simple present tense. The square has 4 equal sides. The square has 4 equal sides. The square. You know how many sides the square has? 4. That's the general truth. Then the rainbow has 7 beautiful colors. It's also a general truth. Everybody knows that the rainbow has 7 beautiful colors. So these are general truths. And then for schedule programs, something that you have already pre-arranged, you use the simple present tense. For example, the examination starts by 10 a.m. this morning. The examination starts by 10 a.m. this morning. It's not yet 10 a.m. and you know the examination is going to start by 10 a.m. in the morning, so you use the simple present tense. The train leaves the station at noon. Leaves. The train leaves is already arranged. It's scheduled program. The train leaves the station at noon. The training starts in 15 minutes. The training starts in 15 minutes. It's already programmed. It's arranged. It's scheduled. Then the driver arrives in an hour's time. The doctor arrives in an hour's time. The doctor arrives in an hour's time. Arrives. Now let's go to the next slide. Notes. When using the simple present tense, the singular verb comes with S, e.g., he wakes, she sweeps, he writes, the doctor treats. So we have wakes, sweeps, writes, treats. You can see that the verbs all carries S. Wakes, sweeps, writes, treats. So that is called singular verb in English language. So when you see the singular verb, it has to carry S. And then the subject has to be in the singular. He, just one person. She, one person. He, one person. The doctor, one person. So the verb that will go with it will be the singular verb. And the singular verb in English has to come with letter S. Then the plural verb comes without S. Look at it. Wake. They wake. We sweep. I write. The doctors treat. You can see all these underline words, they don't have S. There's no S there. Wake, sweep, write, treat. There's no S there. Okay. What does it tell you? It tells you that these verbs are in the plural form. They are plural verbs. They are plural verbs. They are called plural verbs because they don't have S. So note, a plural verb does not come with S, while a singular verb comes with S. Let me say it again. A singular verb comes with S, while a plural verb does not come with S. Then a plural verb goes with a plural subject. Plural subject. How do you know that the subject is plural? It will be more than one. They, we, doctors. They are more than one. I is a plural pronoun in English language. You may be looking at it and say, I is only one person. But in English language, I is a plural pronoun. So you look at it as a plural. So the verb that will come after that I should be a plural verb. So note, singular subject goes with the singular verb. He wakes. He wakes. Singular subject goes with singular verb. Plural subject goes with the plural verb. Plural subject goes with the plural verb. I hope that is well taken. Now, we have come to the end of the class that says the simple present tense. The simple present tense, just like I told you in the objective, I said at the end of the class, you should be able to define the simple present tense for me, how to use them, and then how to differentiate between singular and plural verb, and then you should be able to recognize singular verbs and be able to recognize plural verbs in sentences. Now, coming to this evaluation, I'm sure you're ready for me. You can answer this without even blinking your eyes. If you're actually listening to what I've been saying from the beginning of the class, this evaluation time should not be a problem at all for you. So, going to the chart I showed you the other time, list 5 ways the simple present tense can be used. Anybody ready to give me the answer? Okay, I know you actually know it. You want to tell me? Okay, let's do it together. Okay, let's do this together. Let me take you back there. Okay, I think I have where I'm actually going here. Now I want 5 from the chart. Let's see. Okay, somebody will say for instantaneous situations, that's 1. Okay, for newsletter headlines, that's 2. For non-progressive, 3. When telling stories, 4. And then for habits and repeated actions, 5. Good. That's very good. That's good. You got that for yourself. That's very good. Now let's have the second evaluation. Mention 10 singular verbs you know. Mention 10 singular verbs you know. That's very, very simple. I can hear you saying, wow, that's simple. I can say it without closing my eyes or even blinking my eyes. Okay, can we have them? Okay, writes, jumps, swims, walks, somersaults, drums, tells, climbs, sweeps, sleeps. Okay, can I have more? Good. Now let's have the last one. Differentiate between singular and plural verb. Now that's another simple one. Differentiate between singular and plural verb. Who can tell me that answer? It's very simple, am I right? Okay, singular verb comes with an S, while a plural verb does not come with any S. So let's have some plural verbs that you know. You can just remove the S from all the ones we mentioned before for your 10 singular verbs and you have your plural verb. Now we have jump without the S, jump, write, sweep, sleep, swing, swim, borrow, lend, give, take, come, go. Beautiful. That's very beautiful. Now, in conclusion, the simple present tense used, when you use it correctly, it helps you to make a very good and well constructed English grammar. If you learn your simple present tense very well, you speak English grammar correctly and fluently. But if you don't use your simple present tense very well, you maybe not be able to construct a very good English grammar. Now this is your assignment. I want you to make 5 sentences for each of the following. Make 5 sentences for each of the following. I know you can remember what I told you about the habitual actions, the schedule programs, and the general truths. Habitual actions, I told you, they are actions that you do regularly. Schedule programs are programs that you have scheduled to happen, you have arranged or programmed to happen. While general truth is something that everybody agrees and accepts to be the truth. So I want you to make 5 sentences for each of these sentences. For these types or ways we can make simple present tense. And after you're done, please send it to me. I'll be expecting every one of you. I want every one of you to do this assignment and send it to me. I'll be expecting you. Thank you so much for the class. Ensure you keep safe and be a good boy and a good girl. Take care. Bye.